Welcome guys back to another video in the channel. Today we are back doing Arsenal transfer news daily. We haven't got loads of news today because yesterday was the FA Cup final, which we did win emphatically over Chelsea in a 2-1 win in which we were so dominant. You guys can see my match reaction in my channel. Please subscribe to see my future match reactions for the Premier League. That is actually not too far away. It's in September 12th, so make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and we're going to get straight into it. The first bit of news is obviously the FA Cup final. Winning the FA Cup final means we get £30 million for getting into the Europa League group stages. Obviously we had finished 8th, which means we were out of the Europa League via the league, but we always knew that winning the FA Cup will put us back into the Europa League, and it also means that Wolves will not be able to play Europe next season unless they win the Europa League, which means they'll go into the Champions League, but the likeliness of that happening is very low. But you never know, because there are one-off games, to be honest, so you never know. So now, because we won the FA Cup, Spurs will have to go in qualifying rounds to actually get into the Europa League group stages, which is actually quite cool, because that does hamper, Spurs' fitness levels, because they're having to play Europa League games before the start of the actual season. So it does give us £30 million to spend, and plus the £5 million of winning the FA Cup, it gives us an extra £35 million to spend in the transfer market. Now that is huge. I know it's not Champions League money where you get something like crazy, probably like 50 to 70 million pounds. I know that, but getting into the Europa League does give us a good transfer kitty, and it does provide Mikel Arteta a bit more fluctuation in terms of transfer business, doing more and getting the likes of Thomas Partey, Philip Coutinho, maybe extending Ceballos' loan. It gives us more of a chance to do those kind of deals, and even if we want to do more, sign the likes of Jose Fernandez, maybe fund contracts for Willian, Malang Sarr, whatever transfer business we want to do. So that is very helpful, getting that extra £35 million in, and obviously it will be more than £35 million probably, because the TV revenue, maybe there'll be a bit more in there, but I'm just going to stick with £35 million as a base value. But again, that is huge for us, especially to get to Europe. It will allow the young players to get a chance as well, but the main aspect of this is the money, and this FA Cup final meant more than just a trophy, and now we've won that and we've proved that. And later in the show we'll be talking about Aubameyang and his future as well. But that is it. That is the news on FA Cup final, and that we have won it, and it gives us a £35 million boost going into the transfer window, hopefully to secure the deals for the likes of Thomas Partey. Next bit of news comes in the form of Dominic Szoboszlai. Now this guy is a player that has been linked to Arsenal and Chelsea in recent times. That the rumours have dipped a little, but there is new rumours coming out that Arsenal and Chelsea are receiving a transfer boost, as Australian RB Salzburg are open to selling Dominic Szoboszlai for €26 million, which is around £23 million in the summer transfer window. RB Salzburg have told Chelsea and Arsenal they can sign Dominic Szoboszlai for £26 million this summer, according to reports. He is a highly rated Hungarian midfielder, is the latest star to emerge from the Australian side after Erling Haaland and Takumi Minamino were sold to Borussia Dortmund and Liverpool respectively in January. An Australian newspaper, Salzburger Nachrichten, report that the club are resigned to losing the 19-year-old in the next summer transfer window. Arsenal and Chelsea have been interested, and he has stepped up after the departure of Haaland and Minamino with 7 goals and 11 assists in the second half of the season. Before they left, he had netted twice and created 3 goals. He is a left-sided midfielder and started his career with Austrian second division side Leifrank before he was snapped up by Salzburg at the age of 17. The club's sporting director Christoph Freund recently restated their desire to keep hold of the rising star despite interest from Arsenal and Chelsea, but he says many are interested in Szoboszlai, and he says our main goal for him to stay. Obviously Arsenal getting that £35 million boost will mean they could go after the likes of Szoboszlai, but I do think Arsenal's main target this summer in that position will be of Philippe Coutinho, so I don't think we'll be going after Dominic Szoboszlai. I know he is a good young player, 19 years old, and with the likes of Haaland and Minamino being sold to the likes of Dortmund and Chelsea, Liverpool, and Minamino, he hasn't done very well going into the Premier League, but Haaland has definitely risen to the occasion for Borussia Dortmund, and he'll be looking to move on and with his career as well, Haaland. So for Szoboszlai, looking at those two players moving on to bigger clubs, maybe Szoboszlai would like a move, and maybe that sporting director can't do much about that. And £23 million for Chelsea and Arsenal is really not a lot, especially when you consider the £35 million we're getting from the Europa League and the money we already have, obviously from streaming revenues and etc. Obviously Arsenal are a worldwide brand, so we'll still have a lot of money. But Szoboszlai, maybe we could sign him if we get the right price for him, if he's the right player what Arteta needs. So he is a good possibility. His stats show that he can be one of the best, and he can be a really good player. But again, Does Mikel Arteta want him? I'm not too sure. Maybe he could be an alternative to Philippe Coutinho, who knows. Again, with Chelsea, they are looking to sign Kai Havertz. I think Szoboszlai would be a alternative to Kai Havertz if they can't get that deal done. But obviously for Chelsea, they would like to have Kai Havertz. But for Arsenal, looking on their perspective, we'll probably go in after Philippe Coutinho, and maybe Dominic Szoboszlai could fill in that role as well. So I don't think we'll be going after Szoboszlai, but it is nice to know that the price is around £23 million, which is quite good if we needed him as an alternative. So that is the news on Szoboszlai, and that is price has been reduced to €26 million. We're going to go back to Arsenal and with our current squad, and we're going to talk about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, we did talk about him a few shows ago, one of the first shows, the second one I think, and we talked about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang possibly relying his future on the FA Cup final and the decision, the result of that final deciding his future possibly. And he was a star in the final, obviously scoring 2 goals, first being a penalty and second being a beautiful chip over Willy Caballero. But for Aubameyang, it is undecided. When he was asked about his future after the FA Cup final, he said no updates, nothing. He's not going to say anything. But when Mikel Arteta was asked by the press, he did say he is confident that Aubameyang will stay. And Mikel Arteta also said he wants to build a squad around him, and he is a very important player. And Mikel Arteta, Aubameyang knows what Mikel Arteta thinks of him, obviously very, very highly. And we saw that in the FA Cup final against Chelsea. Basically won us the game. He scored 2 goals in the final, 2 goals in the semi-final, huge goals to win us both games and eventually win us the FA Cup. So I think his future will be decided in the next week or so. I think it will become much clearer whether Aubameyang wants to stay or leave, but I really hope he stays. I can't say much more. We really need this player to stay. He is such a crucial part with what we're trying to build at Arsenal. We're on the right path. Mikel Arteta has said this as well. He knows we're on the right path, and he is central to whatever we do. He is irreplaceable, I say. And some of the stats that we saw in the final, apparently he's the only Premier League player since he's come that scored more goals in all competitions, which is around 70 goals now, 2 more than Mo Salah, which is crazy to think. He's been so good for us, and with the team he's been around, with 3-4 different managers he's managed under. Wow, he's done so well. We really need him to sign that contract. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Should he stay? Should he go? Should we cash in on this summer, or should we see out another year with him and then let him go on a free, or maybe try and sort out his contract next year and maybe focus on transfers this summer? Tell me what you guys think on that one, on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And that the news is that he could be deciding his future in the next week. Obviously we have won the FA Cup, so maybe that could alter his decision. Who knows? So that is it for today's episode. There hasn't been much news because obviously the FA Cup final was on yesterday, so there isn't much to report on. Now in the next week we'll have loads and loads of news to report on, because now for Arsenal there's no more games to play until the Community Shield and obviously the Premier League season. We're not playing in the Europa League or the Champions League in the coming week, so I think we'll be focusing more on transfers, and hopefully we can secure the deals for the likes of Jose Fernandez and Philippe Coutinho. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.